You know, when I was thinking about what lead actor meant to me, and honestly, I got to dedicate this award to Chadwick Boseman, because
probably the most important direction I could ever give any actor. When we made Sinners, I looked at him and said, what would Chadwick do? And Mike looked at me and nodded and said he got it.
Sacred and big.
One of the hardest part of starting a movie is how do you get the audience to say,
Ooh. What you got there, boy?
For example, Sinner's screenplay opens with a 5-page sequence where Jonah and Bert gets bitten by Remick. But this scene actually gets bumped and we don't see them for another 40 minutes. And what we actually get is one of the last scenes that Ryan Coogler wrote, where Sammy goes to church all bloodied up.
We didn't have sort of a structure to help guide us. And Ryan would come in every day with 3-4 different versions of the movie.
So today, I want to take you behind the opening sequence for Sinners, because it's a prime example of a director who knows how to cook up a perfect introduction that draws us deeper and deeper into a version of Sinners we were never meant to see.
Well, I'm ready to roll now.
The screenplay begins with a match strikes once, twice, and ignites on the third try, illuminating a woodcut image of a guitarist.
There are legends of people born with the gift of making music so true.
But the script does something interesting here. Yes, it talks about the gift of music and 3 different cultures affected by it. But what if I were to tell you that the purpose of this scene is so that Coogler can pull the rug from under us later? Like how the Joker stole all that money, only to burn it down in front of the gangsters he stole them from.
would that happen, sir?
Because during the midpoint of Sinners, everything mentioned in the prologue comes alive during the surreal montage. But it plays out in reverse.
Whenever I'm writing the script, I've learned to really think about the midpoint, and I knew that a tragic fate was about to befall all of them. If your movie's a tragedy, the midpoint should be kind of a high point.
For example, during the prologue, the order goes from Irish Philly to Choctaw Firekeepers to West African griots. But in the surreal montage, we see griots and other African ancestors first, then Choctaw Firekeepers, like how they chased Remick down all the way to Jonah and Bert's house, before finally revealing the Philly or the Irish vampires at the end of the montage.
And that's sort of how the structure of the opening changed, and setting it up with a prologue about, all centered around music and Sammy, so that once we get to that moment, the audience is like, what the fuck, but in a good way.
The next scene on page 3 originally starts on the sequence I mentioned earlier, with Jonah and Bert getting bitten by Remick. But Coogler decides to flip the script by taking one of the last pages from his screenplay to use for the opening shot. So now the script reads, exterior, church house, day. Sammy parks the car and exits, still in a daze. He walks to the church door and opens it and... Sammy!
My son has felt the call of sin. But the good Lord calls upon us to be fishers of men who sin and show them the way.
The mini jump scares juxtaposed against Jedediah's movement doesn't feel like true horror jump scares. Instead, it plays out like flashbacks for someone with PTSD. Because imagine if the first thing we saw was Remick and how he turns people into vampires. We'd probably spend the whole movie yelling, "Run, bitch, run for your life, get some help!" But because we see Sammy and the scars on his face first, the question now changes to,
what the fuck happened? Hey!
And Ryan Coogler even chose to have Jedediah repeat the last line twice.
Drop the guitar, Sammy.
Accompanied by a shot of Sammy refusing to drop his guitar to shift our focus from
In the name of God!
to the guitar.
Let it go, Sammy. Put it down.
It's a stark resemblance of how similar they are to each other in their approach to convert others.
You came over here for fellowship and love.
Fellowship and love.
We're gonna start ourselves a new clan based on love.
The way they talk, move, and convince their victims become the source of Sammy's flashbacks.
As we were test screening, we got the note, get to the vampires faster, get to the vampires faster. But in this movie, the vampires are not the antagonists. The horror of this movie is actually the lives that they're living and the economic status, the racism that they face, the oppression. And so elevating the uniqueness and the things you wouldn't see in other movies is very important.
I don't think it's a horror film. I don't know exactly what the word is, but it's a new genre.
This next scene is also one that Ryan Coogler chose to move up from the screenplay. Instead of meeting the twins in Hogwood, we make another jump from page 7 to page 9. External, Gray Oaks Plantation. Day, Sammy, 19, black. A sharecropper works barefoot in a cotton field. The morning sun is still low in the sky.
You storming that guitar tonight?
Morning, Miss Beatrice.
This scene uses comparison to introduce us to Sammy's world. In the next shot, we briefly see Sammy walk home with a full bag of cotton, while other sharecroppers are going the opposite way with empty bags.
Morning, Ma.
Morning, baby.
Sammy cups some of the soapy water from his mama's laundry basket to rinse off.
Don't put that on your body, Sammy. It'll dry you out.
I'll put this on while it's still wet.
Boy, you ain't got the sense God gave a goose.
Hey, Mama said get up.
In 1.5 pages, Ryan Coogler establishes all that we need to know about Sammy and the world he lives in. He's a hardworking sharecropper. He lives in a one-room shack with 5 siblings and his parents. And he's going somewhere to play the guitar tonight.
You gotta keep in mind, man, these people were sharecroppers, which was just a evolution of enslavement.
As we move to the bottom of the page, there's a scene where Sammy exits the house and asks his mama where his guitar and his slide is, because it's missing from underneath his bed. But there's a scene after where he finds both of them at church.
Yeah, I brought it in here.
Which is probably why it was cut from the movie. Instead, the film jumps back to the twins waiting for Hogwood.
He's the grand dragon of the Ku Klux Klan.
And here, the screenplay uses body language and dialogue for character development and illustrate the racism during the 1930s. We reveal 2 men, identical twins, black, mid-30s, waiting beside a parked car. Smoke, the older of the 2, watches the road ahead, while Stack rolls a cigarette. Here is where the twins show who they are through body language. Smoke checks the time, with his hand shaking slightly. Smoke is visibly more upset than Stack, who's relaxed and laid back.
One scene I can't believe we were able to pull off, I would say it's the cigarette pack.
But when he arrives, Smoke takes a pull from his cigarette while Stack is fixing his suit.
Opposite ends of the spectrum, you know what I mean? Like one is can be a cold-hearted killer.
You Hogwood? Amongst identical twins, you know, usually one is more dominant in certain areas than the other.
You boys twins? Nah, we cousins.
And the other one is a manipulator. You know what I mean? Like extremely manipulative.
Which is why everyone that Stack talks to ends up rejecting him, like Delta Slim.
I'll give you $20 to come play at our juke tonight.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Or Mary.
Rotten hell, Stack.
Yeah, I will.
And even Cornbread.
I need you to give us a moment. Men got business to discuss.
No, I ain't got time for your scheming, Stack.
While every character that meets Smoke is either scared of him.
Why the hell you trying to boost my truck?
This your truck? I ain't know it was your truck. I swear, Smoke.
Loves him.
Oh, child.
Look at the damn cat dragged in.
And even prays for him.
How you know I ain't brave? And work every route my grandmama taught me to keep you and that crazy brother of yours safe.
You know, this movie's got plenty of backstory and lore in it too, but the most elite form of characterization is through behavior. And for Smoke, what he would say he is, if you grabbed him by the shoulders and say, hey man, what are you? He would tell you,
I'm a soldier, boy. And you just gave me a command.
But deep down, what he is a father. You know, that's what he wouldn't articulate.
And here is where the twins show their personality with dialogue.
There she is. He moved a ton of timber a month back in his heyday.
That first scene with Hogwood and the twins, as it's bubbling to the surface, Stack is realizing, oh, Smoke's about to kill this dude.
I thought y'all was dead set on buying the place. More time I spend with y'all, the less sure I am you boys are serious about it. Ain't no boys here. Just grown men. With grown men money and grown men bullets.
So Stack's circling them so Hogwood can't get eyes on both of them. So as Stack beelines around, Stack's just waiting for the final decision from Smoke.
I didn't mean nothing by it. Just the way we talk down here. We'll take it. The mill, the equipment, and the land that it's standing on.
And what's great about a lot of behavior like that is nonverbal.
This setup is important because we already know Sammy is playing somewhere tonight. So by the top of page 12,
Morning, Pop.
the world is fleshed out and the threat is clear.
Shit. Clan don't exist no more.
Before we finally get to the moment of truth. Given how rebellious Sammy was in the first scene,
Let it go, Samuel. Put it down.
here, he obeys Jedediah's request without missing a beat.
I brought it in here. I want you to help me give my sermon tomorrow.
That scene inside that church, there's beauty there, there's reality there, and also the tone is there.
He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you're tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Now, Pop, if you don't mind, I'm gonna be late.
Late for what, boy? Where you gotta be that's more important than being in the house of God?
But it's this rebellious nature that ultimately gives him the courage to also walk out on him and make his own decision.
Wanna be free of all this for a day.
To play music? For drunkards? Philanderers who shirk their responsibilities to their families so they can sweat all over each other?
I'll be back in town for service in the morning.
And it's probably why Coogler decided to cut this line from Delta Slim with Samuel.
Don't let nobody tell you any different. Not your daddy, not your mama, not nobody else.
Son, you keep dancing with the devil. One day it's gonna follow you home.
Hey, little cousin, come on out.
This scene is essentially a mini version of the whole movie. Sammy trying to find his own voice and his guitar.
Sammy.
While Jedediah forces religion on him.
Oh, don't you worry now, Uncle Jake. We're gonna get him back to you in one piece.
The twins showing up and letting him see the world for himself. And ultimately, for Sammy to find the courage to make his own decision. Which happens again halfway throughout the movie.
And if that's a problem for you, kill me now.
And in the closing shot of him leaving the plantation, with the guitar still in his hand. By the first minute, we learn that this is a universal story about music and its power to heal or to corrupt. By the third minute, we see the power of the antagonist through Sammy's scars and how Coogler elevates sinners from horror to a multi-genre masterpiece. By the fifth minute, we understand his poor living conditions through immersive framing and what motivates our protagonist. By the eighth minute, we've met the twins and saw how the system is stacked against black-owned businesses during the Jim Crow era. And by the 10th minute, we've established the theme of conflict and temptation, providing the proper build-up to the first of many battles that he'll face in the next 24 hours. And in just 10 minutes, Ryan Coogler has set the stage for the entire story for Sinners. Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you liked or disliked about Sinners in the comments. If you're enjoying the channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.